Well, I suppose the wrong word is used there. It's what we're proposing, if they wish. Now, some of the councils actually will be paying cash, but it is used for, for the councils who are involved with Lama, or we give some of the council staff a little stipend every Christmas out of from the councillors, and it's paid not from expenses but from their monthly salaries. So I suppose salary should have been at the end of that letter rather than
But it does say expenses. You couldn't address this up worse if you said put it in a brown envelope and we'll pass it on.
Well, there's never been brown envelopes in Cork, so I mean that wouldn't be the case. But like most companies and organisations, we normally have a Christmas do that councillors come to if they wish. Also, it's available for former members and indeed the management team here in Cork City Council as well. And it's paid for by the councillors themselves. Now, as I said, they can either pay for it in cash themselves if they wish, or indeed they can pay for as a deduction from their salary, which a lot of companies do as well. As I say, the various associations that councillors are members of, and indeed stipends that councillors would regularly give at Christmas time to members of staff and others, that's deducted from their salary. So the word expenses there probably is the wrong word to use, but it's not coming out of their expenses as such, which are small enough as they are already, you know.
OK, but having said that, look, this is obviously going to be a good do, and you're right, the staff do deserve something like that, but does it perhaps send out the wrong message to have councillors going out using effectively what is still state money if it is coming out of their salary? Some people say councillors shouldn't be paid at all. Is it the right message to be sending out to go and have the finest steaks?
Oh, it is the right message, of course it is, because as far as I'm concerned, the members of Cork City Council, like other public representatives and city councils and county councils, do a huge amount of work every year. It's a full-time job, and it's a small salary that the councillors get paid. Much of that is handed back through sponsorships that councillors give to various organisations and clubs in their area. So by the time tax is paid out of it, I think a councillor might get about 7,000 a year, and then much of that is given away to the various organisations in their area of the city. I'm very happy that the Lord Mayor every year organises this function, and I'm delighted that I'm in a position to do it again this year, to say thank you to the councillors for all the hard work that they do, to the members of staff here in City Council for their hard work, and indeed to pay tribute to the many members who are not on City Council any longer for the work that they did over the years, because the City of Cork has developed enormously in the last number of years, much of it due to the work of these people, and I think that they're entitled to have a Christmas party that they're paying for themselves. I mean, a person gets a salary, it's their money once they get the salary, irrespective of where it comes from, and they're entitled to spend it whichever way they wish.
Yeah,
so
but having said that,
an annual party.
It's an annual.
I'm delighted to be hosting, you know.
Okay, I accept the fact it's an annual party, but at the bottom of this letter it says your signature is there, Councillor Terry Shannon, and underneath there's a bit of the form which I presume is to be ripped off, and it says please deduct the €50 from my expenses. Now if you're telling me that that's clunkily phrased, are you going to reissue the letter?
Well, I'd have a look at that, but clearly, I mean, the point I'm making to you, and I think I've explained that already, it's coming from their salary, and that'll be the way it'll be deducted. And as I say, a lot of people have, as I do myself, a lot of deductions every month from our salaries. It's nothing new, it's nothing conspiratorial. As I say, it's from their salary, if they wish. Many councils mightn't do it that way, they might just pay the cash themselves.
I was just going to point out, but that salary is still taxpayers' money though, isn't it?
Well, everybody, I mean, anybody in the public service gets the salary from the taxpayer, but it's their money once they get it into their hands, you know.
These are elected representatives, though. They're not someone working in the council.
Doesn't matter. I mean, if elected representatives are paid as they are for the work that they do, and where councillors are concerned, I mean, if they were to be paid for the work they do, they'd probably be on salaries much more than any senator, certainly. But certainly any member of the public service, whether they're elected members or whether they're civil or public servants, once they derive a salary, irrespective of where it comes from, it's their money to do with what they wish. I mean, I wouldn't be thinking we should be telling firemen or ambulance men or anybody else how to spend their money, you know.
Just one of the things that stood out for a lot of people, because I found this on Twitter last night, that's where this first emerged, the choice of the Four Liars Bistro in Shandon. Now people in Cork will know that the Four Liars are the four faces of Shandon bells that never seem to tell the same time, but would perhaps politicians need to avoid the type of restaurant that would be called the Four Liars?
Well, yeah, look, we can be cynical all we like. I mean, the fact of the matter is there are people employed in that restaurant.
And it is a very good restaurant, to be fair.
Bring people up to that restaurant. It's in a very historic part of Shandon. As you know, Shandon, I mean, it is called after Shandon, which is colloquially known as the four-faced liar, simply because the four clocks never tell the same time at the same time. You know, what we're trying to do is to promote Cork, promote employment in Cork, promote tourism in Cork. And if restaurants and bars and hotels can benefit from that, then we're happy to do so. And we do move around the city. It happens to be there this year,
OK, well, the letter probably will have to be changed when it does come round. Enjoy the champagne and the steak.
I know, but can I tell you, you've little to be worrying about if you're worrying about a letter like this gone out by City Council. We have some members, unfortunately, who love to run to the media for little small things like this.
This didn't come...
Jonathan, we have serious issues in this city and we need serious people to sort them out. Unfortunately, there are some members of City Council who really don't see the broad picture.
Let me clarify something. This didn't come from a member of the council. This was something that was put up by a journalist on Twitter last night. That is the genesis of this.
The letters went to the member, so it was a member brought the letter out.
And to be fair, it is a legitimate question if the word expenses was used. So therefore, it would be belittling the argument.
I'm not cribbing about that, but I'm just saying in the scheme of things and the issues that are facing our city, we need serious people to deal with serious matters. And unfortunately, there are some members of council who really are so parochial. The broad picture never, or indeed the facts of things, never really worry them when they're issuing press releases. OK, well, as I said, it didn't come from a press release. It came from somebody in the council, obviously. It is, yeah.
OK,
and so we can probably know who that came from. But anyway, as Lord Mayor, I'm delighted to be in a position to organise this event. It's much deserved by my members of City Council and staff. And I know that, like many organisations, they will be celebrating, albeit in a rather muted tone this year, but we will be celebrating Christmas because I think that's nice to say thank you to people for the work that they've done throughout the year and indeed to encourage people to continue that work into next year. OK,
send us on the draft of the reformed letter. Councillor Terry Shannon, Lord Mayor of Cork, thanks for talking to us.
Thanks, Jonathan.